I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, Ruel. Peace and salutations to the elect, and much respect to the brothers pushing his word in the four winds of the earth. Shalom to you few sincere sisters out there as well. This is another edition of The Love of Many Shall Wax Cold. I came across this article here. It says a mother ran over her 7-year-old son in a car after making him walk home as punishment. It's the mother right here. And it says an Alabama mother ran her 7-year-old over in her car after forcing him, Salakia. Let's read that again. An Alabama mother ran her 7-year-old over in her car after forcing him to walk home from school as punishment. And Sarai Rachel James, 27, picked her son up from school on the 9th of February and heard from the principal that he had been in trouble earlier that day. And it says Miss James stopped the car a short distance from the school and told her son to get out and walk home from there. It says the school and the house are reportedly 8 blocks away from each other. It says the boy reportedly tried to grab the door handle while the vehicle was moving, but Miss James accelerated and he was pulled under the car and run over with the back tire. He was hospitalized with abrasions. It says it was a miracle he was not hurt worse than what he could have been. And it says investigators believe the mother ran him over accidentally, though it was her punishment of him that led to the incident. And she may not have realized he was doing that or whatever, trying to get back in the car, which is bullshit. She was mad. Now let this have been a, Israelite looking, person. It'd have been a whole different narrative here, man. But the love of many out here is waxing cold, and people are finding it harder and harder, if you will, to rule their spirit, man. And people are out here really losing it.
Some shit just don't make sense. And I know people say some of the shit I say probably don't make sense. I'm just saying, nigga. But I'm just saying this time some shit just don't make sense. You can't some shit you just can't put your damn mind on. I'm talking about how in the fuck you shoot a man 10 times for blowing leaves, the leaves and shit done hit your car? What, in San Antonio, West Side, Westfield? Down in the apartments? The landscaper is blowing leaves, nigga. They got a job to do in the apartments. Your car is there. Nigga, I done did this shit before, landscaping. You blowing the shit, and when the dust gonna get on people's cars. They take the blower and blow the dust right off the motherfucking cars, nigga. It don't be harming shit. This man done went to the office and complained that, they blowing leaves done hit my car. Then so, after that, he go back to the landscapers and confront them. This nigga pulls his gun and shoots the man dead, nigga. Shoots him 10 times. And they arrest this nigga. He got a San Antonio Spurs jacket on. Damn. I'm just saying, nigga. You traded your life over some dust and leaves hitting your fucking car. Damn shame, boy. Hashtag real spit. Boy.
Crown Heights is mourning a well-known bodega worker who was shot and killed in a dispute with a customer on Monday night.
His death has renewed concerns over worker safety as his family plans for his funeral. Michelle Ross is at that bodega and joins us now with more. Michelle.
Bianca, Chris, this is the bodega where 37-year-old Nazim Berry was fatally shot on Monday. The $8,000 donation was made in the form of a check and handed to his mother this morning by the company ProHealth and also the United Bodegas of America, which just made the announcement across the street. Now, we have a picture of Nazim Berry. Again, he was only 37 years old. His mother was here. She could not stand. She was being held up by her friends and family members as she's obviously heartbroken by the loss of her son. Now, the shooting happened on Monday at around 4:15 in the afternoon at Amin Deli, the corner of Lincoln Place and Franklin Avenue here in Crown Heights. His family will use the money so that he's laid to rest in a dignified way. Now, it's unclear if this particular suspect has benefited from bail reform, but Fernando Mateo called on local elected officials to revisit laws that allow criminals to become repeat offenders, because he says oftentimes bodega owners will call the police on a perpetrator and hours later they are let out. Mateo shared some words about the victim, Nazim.
Nazim was not only a bodega clerk. He worked every day to help support his mother and his brothers and his siblings. This is a job for him that was a 7-day-a-week job. And he did it well, and he did it with love. He defended the property of this bodega, and by defending the property of this bodega, he was killed.
And now to a developing story in Brooklyn. Police searching for a gunman who shot and killed a 33-year-old man. It happened on a busy street near 2 schools in Crown Heights. Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einiger with the latest on the investigation.
Tonight, a family member sank to her knees and clung to a loved one for support as a windstorm churned through Crown Heights. Police searching for evidence of the violent crime, seemingly out of the blue.
He's a nice guy, I told you. It's nice for everybody from here. You don't have no problem.
And members of the tight-knit West African community who live here could not comprehend the sudden murder of a man they describe as hard-working and easygoing. It happened around dusk tonight. Cops say the 33-year-old man, who had no priors with the NYPD, was shot in the head. He was rushed to the hospital, but there was nothing doctors could do to save his life. Back at the scene, police recovered 4 shell casings as they hunted for the 2 suspects who'd fled the scene. Boki Barry is a family member of the victim.
Everybody, you see the people cry for me here. Everybody, you know. I can't talk too much about it. I'm so sorry about it. I'm too upset.
In the driving rain and gusty winds, police are working through the night to try to piece this together.
Breaking news now to bring you a subway slashing in Brooklyn, and we just learned in the last few minutes that the victim is a conductor. It happened around 4 o'clock this morning. This was at the Rockaway Avenue station. Police are now telling us the 59-year-old conductor had his head out the window of a train when he was slashed once in the neck. He was taken to Brookdale Hospital. He is in stable condition. Police are now searching for a suspect wearing a blue vest who escaped on foot. The 3 suspects involved in a deadly shooting on a D train last week are being held without bail. Prosecutors say 24-year-old Justin Hurd fired the gun on a D train in the Bronx last week, killing William Alvarez. They say Hurd admitted to the shooting the victim, but his attorneys claim it was in self-defense. Hurd was arrested along with 2 others this week, Betty Cotto and Alfredo Trinidad. They were all charged with murder and manslaughter. Violence at the city's migrant shelters, this time at the former Lincoln Correctional Facility in Harlem, where a man was stabbed twice.
All right, Fox 5's Morgan Mackay joins us live from the scene of Morgan. This comes as the mayor is calling for changes to the city's sanctuary city law.
You're exactly right, Steve, Natasha. But first, on that stabbing at the migrant shelter here in Harlem, City Hall tells us there are security guards, but no security cameras. However, they are looking at installing additional security measures. They just recently announced that they are installing metal detectors at the migrant shelter on Randall's Island. A 24-year-old man was found stabbed twice on Wednesday at the former Lincoln Correctional Facility, currently serving as a migrant shelter. The NYPD responded to a 911 call at around 11:30 a.m. and found the man stabbed in the back and abdomen. He was taken to Mount Sinai Morningside in stable condition, but the NYPD is still searching for a suspect. On Tuesday, Mayor Eric Adams spoke about other violent incidents at migrant shelters and emphasized how migrants are being forced to sit around all day without the ability to work.
All day, we have men that must sit around all day and can't work. It's amazing how calm they have been.
Right now, the Adams administration is making a strong push to change one part of the Sanctuary City law. In 2014 and 2017, under former Mayor Bill de Blasio, the City Council strengthened the existing Sanctuary City laws by prohibiting the NYPD from alerting federal immigration officials about a migrant who has been charged with a crime. As it stands right now, the city can only alert ICE if a migrant has been convicted of a crime in certain cases. City Council Speaker Adrian Adams emphasized on Wednesday that they have no plans to make changes to the law.
These are innocent. Breaking news out of Brooklyn, where sadly a 13-year-old boy has been fatally shot.
All right, and it's been a bad week in Crown Heights. Briella Tomasetti is there right now. What's going on, Briella?
Yeah, well, Rosanna and Kurt, good morning to both of you. We're learning a lot of new details about this case, this investigation. The 13-year-old boy who was shot and killed here in this vicinity has been identified as 13-year-old Troy Gill. As you can probably notice, this is a very active and ongoing investigation. Cops and crime scene units have been here all morning long, canvassing the area and looking very carefully into what happened. We're hearing that boy was coming home from a Brooklyn Nets game when he was shot. Crime scene units again parked here all morning collecting evidence. We have seen some evidence markers in this area. Now, here's what we know so far. At around 10:40 last night, police responded to multiple 911 calls of a person shot. When they got here, they found Gill, who had been shot multiple times to the body. Emergency crews rushed him to Kings County Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. There are, again, evidence markers here at this intersection at St. Mark's Avenue, but sources say that 6 shell casings were found just a block away on Bergen Street. So multiple areas to canvass through this morning. Those sources also believe that Gill, that 13-year-old boy, may have been targeted. This is the 3rd homicide to rock Crown Heights this week alone. A Brooklyn bodega worker was killed on Monday, and a 33-year-old man was shot and killed outside the Ebbetsfield houses on Wednesday. Then there was this incident, of course, last night. There are no arrests at this time or much information surrounding the circumstances of the shooting. Police say it's too early to determine a motive at this time, but you can feel the impact that the shooting and the death of this young boy has on this community. People are waking up this morning, walking by the crime scene, looking over in awe, taking pictures. One woman actually broke down in tears when we attempted to interview her. She said that her son was a victim of gun violence, and she is sick and tired of this happening in her neighborhood. So just absolutely devastating to hear the news, but we'll get back to
the doorway of a bodega in the Bronx. A man shot several times at the store in the Melrose section. Police say the victim is 20 years old. All the bullets hit him in the legs, and he's expected to survive. The gunman fleeing the scene in a black car, according to police. Protesters.
More violence in the New York City subway system. Late this afternoon, a 60-year-old man stabbed on a number 4 train in the Bronx.
Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einiger live in the concourse section with the latest violence in the subway. Josh.
Yeah, Bill, Sandra, you could see some police officers here on the platform here at the 167th Street 4 stop as presents, but there were quite a few more cops here in the last hour or two. We could show you video from the Citizen app as police officers were on the platform trying to piece together this latest burst of violence on the subway. This was a downtown 4 train. Just a little bit after 3 o'clock this afternoon, a 60-year-old man was stabbed in what he described as a dispute with another strap hanger. That's really all police had to go on because he was not all that helpful in cooperating with detectives and investigating this matter further. The victim is, we are told, suffering a non-life-threatening injury, was taken to an area hospital as detectives do try to piece together what this was all about. But it was, of course, just the latest in a series of fairly high-profile and violent incidents on the subway that have led to a surge of more than 1,000 additional NYPD officers in the subway all across the city. facility. Back here live on the platform here at the 167th Street Forest stop. A few police officers here for presence, and the rush hour continues as this investigation gets underway. We're live at the concourse section of the
Grisly scene on Long Island where more body parts have been discovered inside a park. The authorities say the remains belong to a man and a woman, but their identities remain a mystery. Fox 5's Jody Goldberg is live at the scene in Babylon. Jody, what are the police saying tonight? I mean, this is straight out of a crime book.
It's really creepy, Bianca and Natasha. Police haven't said anything at this point other than the search has been completed. Now this trail behind me, it's open for the first time in more than 24 hours. This is residents hope to get some answers sooner than later.
Preliminarily, it appears that the arm, the leg, and the head both came from the same person, but that'll be determined through scientific tests and through the autopsy.
At least 5 body parts belonging to a male and female victim were found feet from an elementary school and park, leaving some in what's normally a quiet community with questions.
Bad things happen in nice places, and I think this is just one of those times.
I'm in here every day, a couple times a day. So this is sad.
The sets of severed remains were scattered in several spots on opposite sides of Southard's Pond Park in Babylon. A student walking to school on Thursday morning found a left arm on the side of the road. It was just the beginning.
So on the east side of the park, we found a right arm and a left arm. They appear to be male. We came back to the west side of the park. Last night, we discovered a female head, a leg, and what appears to be a female arm.
Police say the remains did not appear to have been outside very long. Tattoos on at least one of the arms belonging to the male will hopefully help identify the victims.
Fortunately, the vegetation's not in. I'm pretty confident if canine goes through there, if the canine teams go through there, that they're going to find body parts, and they did yesterday.
Cadaver teams spent much of Friday focusing on the perimeter of the park, trying to pinpoint the location of other possible remains. Police stopped short of getting into any motives.
Pretty confident that a car was involved. So we're going to search as thoroughly as possible.